starting in November, Bitcoin didn't really react to that bad news anymore. And now, since early that year, Bitcoin is basically back, and it looks like we've seen the lows. It looks like we are in a new cycle, at least a nice bounce or a recovery. I wouldn't be surprised to see Bitcoin recovering to 35,000, maybe even 50,000. If it does the same like in 2019, after the bear cycle that started in December 2017, and which took Bitcoin down from 20,000 to $3,200, also a devastating bear market. But then Bitcoin quickly recovered. Starting in March 2019, it went up 350% in 3 months. So we could see something similar.
Florian Grummes is an independent analyst, investor, trader, and consultant who has been active in the financial markets since 1995. Being an individual and contrarian thinker, he turned bullish on gold and silver in 2002 and began focusing on this neglected sector. He spent years improving his technical analysis skills. Due to the Cyprus crisis in early 2013, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies came on his radar and have never left since. In 2008, he started sending out his research about the gold market to his friends. Quickly, his readership encouraged him to open his research to the public. His outstanding track record and his objective approach consequently brought him worldwide attention and a large international follower base. In this video, Grummes talks about the precious metal gold, his predictions for it, and what he sees happening to its trend going forward as China and Russia have broken away from the dollar. He also talks about the crypto giant Bitcoin and its use cases. He mentions that even though Bitcoin has what it takes to be a major stronghold for any fiat currency that wins the battle for the next reserve currency, Bitcoin is, however, still decades away from making such a strong claim. Grummes also mentioned that Bitcoin faces a very big nemesis, which has gotten even darker and closer in the wake of the FTX collapse and other collapses that occurred, forcing government and regulatory bodies to put in more attention and constraints on cryptocurrency. He says that regulation may not be the best thing for Bitcoin and could spell doom for the crypto giant, but he would watch as things unfold. He also gave new predictions for Bitcoin, which we would see in the video. Brace yourself, we now go into the video. Also make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and drop any comments you have in the comment section below. Enjoy the video.
Gold is looking good again after those 3 months of strong rally. And as you know, in the big picture, all it takes for gold is really to take out this all-time high around $2,075. And then, yeah, we would complete a very large basing pattern, basically, that started in 2011. And you can just imagine how much energy has been compressed over the years. So I think, yeah, $5,000 to $10,000 gold is very possible. And given the macro outlook, the big picture, I think there's every day more reasons to be long-term bullish on gold. One of the main drivers for sure is the de-dollarization that is going on. So China and Russia are moving away from the dollar. The so-called petrodollar, which was backed by oil being factored in US dollar, that is step-by-step changing. You see India, for example, making payments in rubles nowadays. Chinese trying to establish the renminbi oil trade. The Saudis have basically partnered with China. And that has been a huge, I think the most important driver for the dollar still being the most important reserve currency on the planet. And I think that is going to change. And we are already in that change. This is a long-term process. It's not happening from one day to another. That takes years, or probably 1 or 2 decades even. But I think that is one of the main drivers. And at the same time, 50 years into the paper money system after Nixon ended the gold standard, we all know the debts are incredibly high and unsustainable. Now we're seeing since a few years massive inflation everywhere. And I think this whole paper dollar system, is going to fail at some point. It's not happening overnight. It's a process. But I think these are the main drivers. And I don't think that the world will directly switch to renminbi or yuan.
Yes.
Because the Saudis don't trust the Chinese either, or the Russians, but they want to certainly do the trade overall in gold, very likely. In retrospective, it's very obvious that we had this massive bull run that started basically with the low of the Corona crash in February 2020, and from there Bitcoin basically went from $3,800 up to $69,000 over the course of a little bit more than 2 years. Um, um, and at 69,000 in November 2021, yeah, everybody was obviously bullish. I didn't really see the top exactly there. I turned bearish a little bit later, but still saw the change in the environment. And it's in the end of the day, it's always the same cycles in that sector. You have crazy bull runs and then you have devastating bear markets. And that bear market lasted from November 2021 up to November 2022. And Bitcoin went down from 69,000 to 15,000 something, 75% pullback. And in November, everybody was so bearish. The news, especially the scam and the problems around all these lending platforms and the FTX disaster, that all basically pushed the sector further down. But starting in November, Bitcoin didn't really react to that bad news anymore. And now, since early that year, Bitcoin is basically back, and it looks like we've seen the lows. It looks like we are in a new cycle, at least a nice bounce or a recovery. I wouldn't be surprised to see Bitcoin recovering to 35,000, maybe even 50,000. If it does the same like in 2019, after the bear cycle that started in December 2017, which took Bitcoin down from 20,000 to $3,200, also a devastating bear market. But then Bitcoin quickly recovered. Starting in March 2019, it went up 350% in 3 months. So we could see something similar over the next few weeks and months, Bitcoin recovering towards 35,000, 50,000. And we would still be clearly below the all-time high. And after that, I would expect a pullback again and probably back towards the 25, 20,000 kind of range, together with the stock markets. Because again, what I said earlier, I assume that somewhere in the summer that we're going to see really the consequences out of the hiking cycle. And we're probably going to be back in the bear market in stocks, and that will also create challenges for the crypto sector.
Grummes has a reputation for making good predictions for best-performing assets, and once again, he is making a new prediction for some asset classes he believes would thrive very well this season and reasons he is bullish on them. Let us listen and hear what he has to say.
Yeah, last year I was basically bullish on the dollar, and I think this year it's time again to be bullish on gold. I think that gold, it doesn't take much now to take out the all-time high around 2075. We might see this now in the coming few weeks or in the next 1-2 months. Usually gold has the tendency to top out in spring and then correct, let's say between March and June, July. It's usually not a time where gold and gold-related investments perform well, but gold then usually finds an important low somewhere in early midsummer, and third and fourth quarter are usually strong. So if you put this together with the technical setup, gold needs to break out above $2,050, $2,075. If it managed to do that later in the year, like really sustainably, I think we could go to $2,500 by the end of the year.
Okay.
And that's a nice return from where we are right now. Bitcoin might also see a nice recovery over the next few weeks and months, but I assume later, saying midsummer, maybe August, September, and then third, fourth quarter, we probably will see some weakness again. So that's why I'm going for gold.
Since President Nixon ended the gold standard in 1971, there has been an unprecedented increase in debt and inflation throughout the world. The current paper dollar system is unsustainable and may ultimately fail in due course. This is because it relies on a finite resource, gold, to back up its value. Since the gold standard was abandoned, debt has skyrocketed, and so has inflation. This phenomenon has occurred for centuries, leading mankind back to gold as a base medium of exchange and store of value, with its finite availability ensuring it holds its value over time. Countries are looking into creating their own reserve currency, possibly including cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin. Due to this inflation, asset prices including gold can rise but still not be worth what they appear on a nominal basis due to the devaluation of paper money over time. This is why it is important for investors to always look at the revealed value of an asset, not just its nominal price. According to Grummes, gold remains the most stable store of value out there, even in an inflamed global economy. What do you think of Grummes' predictions for gold and Bitcoin? Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to give us a like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications for future videos. Thanks for watching.